So the movie kicks off at the funeral of the wife of the richest man in France. Her son Alex is just standing there completely numb, like he still can't believe his mom is actually gone. After the funeral, everyone leaves, and Philip tells his son to head home in the car. Deep down, he knows he should stay with Alex, but for him, business meetings matter more than family, so he leaves anyway. A year later, we meet Sammy, a hustler with an injured hand, but despite that, the guy's confidence and sales skills are insane. He can sell the weirdest junk by calling it imported luxury stuff. And this time, he's selling a bizarre two-headed turtle like crazy. But suddenly, the police show up, confiscate all his goods, and tell him the imported stuff is illegal. Totally crushed, Sammy heads home. His wife is shocked too because he bought all that stuff using a 3,000 euro loan, and now they're expecting a baby while their house is falling apart and badly needs repairs. Desperate to fix everything, Sammy decides to get a job, but finding work with a damaged hand isn't easy. Eventually, he lands a surveillance job at a mall. On the other side, Alex's birthday is coming up in a couple of days. Philip asks him what he wants as a gift, but Alex coldly replies, nothing, and walks away like a grown-up woman done with life. Since his mom's death, he's completely isolated himself, and Philip is worried sick. Meanwhile, Sammy starts his night shift at the mall, and the next morning, the whole mall has been emptied out because Philip rented the entire place so Alex could shop without crowds. Poor Sammy, exhausted from the night shift, falls asleep leaning on a Hulk statue shelf. The moment he notices the mall owner arriving, he panics and tries climbing down, but gets tangled in a net. When Alex's guards rush to help, Sammy accidentally sprays pepper spray everywhere, leading to a hilarious chaos scene. Alex finds the whole thing insanely entertaining, and instead of buying toys, he tells the manager he wants to buy Sammy himself. The mall owner is stunned and tries explaining that humans aren't for sale, but Alex is stubborn. The owner pulls Sammy aside and offers him a deal. Spend one day playing with the kid and he'll get 1,000 euros. For Sammy, that's huge money. So he agrees and happily meets Alex. But then Alex orders his guards to pack Sammy into a giant box and take him home. Sammy completely freaks out and refuses, saying, I agreed to play with the kid, not get boxed up like a toy or an animal. I'm a human being. I have self-respect. The boss explains that Alex is the son of Philip, one of the richest businessmen in France, a man rich enough to buy 10 malls like this and shut theirs down if he wants. If Sammy agrees, he can name his price. After thinking hard, Sammy asks for 3,000 euros. The boss instantly agrees and orders the staff to package him up. Cut to Alex's room where a massive toy box is opened and Sammy pops out. He's blown away by the insanely luxurious room filled with futuristic technology. Before he can even process it all, Alex tells him to follow him and jumps into a slide. Sammy doesn't react fast enough, so the guards literally throw him into the slide too. It leads to Alex's private arcade, and Sammy is even more shocked. Alex silently signals him to play. Sammy first jokes around, but when he realizes Alex is dead serious, he plays properly and even beats him. The whole day passes like this, and when Philip returns home, the guards show him footage of Sammy crawling out of the toy box. Philip immediately panics and orders the video deleted because if the media saw it, it would become a huge scandal. Deep down, Philip feels guilty too because his own son treated a human like a toy. Feeling bad for Sammy, Philip invites him to dinner. Sammy notices the gigantic dining table has only 2 silent people sitting at it. No conversation, just eating in total silence. The food is so delicious. Sammy literally tears up thinking these rich people eat like this every day and still aren't happy. Then a cake arrives. Alex quietly cuts it. Philip wishes him happy birthday, and everyone silently leaves again. After dinner, Sammy is forced to sign an agreement promising never to talk about what happened, and he gets his money. Just as he's about to leave, Philip stops him and says he wants Sammy to stay longer because after his mother's death, Alex is finally talking to someone again. Sammy replies that he only came because he was desperate, not because he's some toy. As he walks away, Philip offers him 14,000 euros per week. That amount hits Sammy hard. It could fix his house, pay hospital bills for the baby, solve everything. So he agrees, and Philip even gives him a 10,000 euro advance check. Since Sammy disappeared without telling his wife, they send him home first. His neighbors are stunned, seeing him step out of a luxury car and start taking pictures with it. But when Sammy gets home, his wife is furious. He can't explain where he's been because of the NDA he signed, so he makes up a fake story. She doesn't buy it until he shows her the 10,000 euro check, and suddenly she believes every word. While packing to leave again, Sammy notices all his neighbors and friends who worked at Philip's factory have been fired and are protesting outside. Back at Alex's mansion, the two sit together like businessmen in a corporate meeting while Alex announces tomorrow's game. Sammy will dress as a rabbit and run from hunting dogs. Sammy's soul practically leaves his body. He tells Alex's assistant he refuses to become dog bait, but they remind him he took the money, so he has no choice. Furious, Sammy calls Alex a spoiled rich brat who desperately needs discipline. Alex overhears all of it and feels hurt. The next day, the game begins. Sammy, dressed in a rabbit costume, runs through the forest while dogs chase him. He barely survives and gets so traumatized, he decides he's done. He quits and promises to return the money. But when he gets home, he discovers his wife already spent nearly all the cash on a washing machine, TV, fridge, and feeding coworkers. Sammy breaks down. That night, while lying awake stressed out, he feels his unborn baby moving in his wife's belly, and that changes everything. He wants his child to have a better life, so he decides to return to Alex. Alex is still mad because Sammy insulted him and abandoned him. To cheer him up, Sammy jumps into a bathtub with him and starts tickling him nonstop. Alex bursts into laughter while running away. They accidentally crash into Philip's business meeting, but instead of getting angry, Philip silences the guests because for the first time in a year, he's hearing his son laugh. Later, Alex asks Sammy to play again, but Sammy suggests they just sit and enjoy the sunset and the beautiful forest view. Suddenly, Alex runs away, and Sammy follows him to a gorgeous treehouse where Alex used to spend time with his mother. There's a picture of them together there. Alex finally opens up and explains how much he loved his mom. When doctors revealed her cancer was terminal, Alex wanted her close during her final days so they could make memories together. But Philip sent her to the United States for treatment instead, and she only came back dead. Sammy feels terrible and tells funny stories to cheer him up. Later, Philip joins Sammy in the garden. Sammy suggests walking barefoot on the grass, but Philip ignores him. Then Sammy tells him that a child without a mother needs his father the most. Philip gets offended that a common man is lecturing him about parenting. Hurt, Sammy walks away. Later, he watches a soccer match with Alex and the house staff. Everyone is screaming and celebrating every goal. When Philip returns home and sees all the joy, he slowly realizes Sammy is right. He joins them to watch the match, but because everyone respects him too much, only Sammy, Alex, and Philip actually celebrate openly. When their team wins, Sammy and Alex hug tightly. Philip awkwardly asks Alex for a hug too, but it feels cold and formal. That evening, Sammy literally teaches Philip how to hug properly, explaining it's about warmth and emotion. To demonstrate, he suddenly hugs Philip himself, and Philip's assistant walks in at the worst possible moment, misunderstanding everything. So the two instantly separate awkwardly. That night, Alex has a nightmare and crawls into Sammy's bed for comfort. The next morning, Philip sees them sleeping together and feels jealous because he's never been that close to his own son. Later, Sammy starts playing Alex's late mother's piano, and Philip's jealousy explodes. He fires Sammy immediately without caring how devastated Alex will be. Alex begs his father to bring him back, but Philip refuses, so Alex angrily drives away in his mini car. Sammy notices Alex following him and tells him to go home, but when he realizes Alex won't listen, he gets into the car with him. When Philip learns Alex ran away, he furiously fires the bodyguard too, even though the guy says he's been with Alex since birth. Meanwhile, Alex absolutely loves being at Sammy's humble home. Sammy's wife makes him help around the house, he politely plays with neighborhood kids, and he finally feels like a normal child. Sammy even shows him the weird two-headed turtle and gifts him a special book as a birthday present. Alex gets so emotional over such a simple gift, like someone just handed him the world. Eventually, Sammy says it's time to go home, but before they can leave, Philip arrives with security. Alex is dragged into the car, while Sammy gets threatened to never come near him again. Brokenhearted, Sammy walks home only to notice everyone staring at him strangely. Then Philip receives a notification. The video of Sammy being treated like a toy has gone viral everywhere. Sammy's wife is furious, saying he sold his dignity for money, and now they can't even show their faces in public. The fired workers return to protesting, now demanding justice for Sammy too, even though Sammy never wanted any of this. Worse, his wife kicks him out. Later, she realizes she made a terrible mistake because Sammy was struggling too, and she abandoned him during his hardest moment. The next day, Philip tells Alex they're going on vacation to Japan because Sammy made him realize he needs to spend more time with his son than with business. But Alex refuses unless Philip fulfills one condition. Soon, Philip meets all the fired factory workers and rehired every single one of them while increasing their salaries too, all because of Alex. Everyone instantly starts praising Philip and completely forgets Sammy, which makes Sammy's wife furious. While arguing with them, her condition worsens and she suddenly goes into labor. The workers rush her to the hospital. Meanwhile, Philip and Alex are headed to the airport when Philip apologizes for being a bad father. Alex replies that if they don't help Sammy today, Sammy will carry regret forever too. Then we learn Alex secretly hid Sammy in the treehouse all this time to protect him from the toxic public backlash. Philip immediately cancels the trip, and Sammy is flown to the hospital in Philip's helicopter within minutes. For the first time in ages, Alex is truly proud of his father. Philip promises from now on, he'll give most of his time to him. Right then, Sammy comes out of the hospital room beaming with happiness and announces he has a baby girl. Everyone rushes over excitedly, and Sammy places the baby in Alex's arms. Watching Alex smile makes Philip happier than ever. In the final scene, Philip and Alex stop at a park. The awkward emotional war between father and son is finally over. Remembering Sammy's advice, Philip removes his shoes and tells Alex to do the same, because walking barefoot on grass brings peace. The two walk together laughing, talking, and genuinely enjoying each other's company. Then Alex says one day he wants to open a factory with Sammy to make those weird two-headed turtles. Philip bursts out laughing, nods yes, and the movie ends with father and son finally happy together.